Velocity time graphs. Right, velocity is speed in a given direction. That is the difference between velocity and speed. Speed has just got a size, 20 miles an hour or 10 meters per second. But velocity is in a given direction, so it's got size and direction. Okay. Velocity is distance divided by time, and speed is distance divided by time. Remember, it is in a given direction. Right, velocity time graphs. You'll have to be expected to be able to interpret different velocity time graphs. And if you look at A, the velocity has gone from 0 to 5. So this is showing it is changing velocity, so it's actually accelerating. It's getting faster and faster. If you look at B, it has continually been around 3.5 meters per second throughout time. So that means it's staying at a constant speed. D, if you notice, has gone from 3 meters per second down to about 1.5 meters per second. So that is decelerating. And C, its velocity started at 0 and has gone to 1 meter per second, so it's accelerating also. Its velocity is changing, it's increasing, so it's accelerating. The difference between A and C is A accelerates very quickly, whereas B accelerates less quickly. So it's a faster acceleration for A, a slower acceleration for C. And there you go, there's the explanations to it. Now you need to memorize that. It is different to distance time graphs, so just remember that distance time graphs and velocity time graphs have slightly different interpretations. Oh, of course, the steeper the line, the greater the acceleration. By the way, A would be said to have a positive acceleration. D could be said to have a negative acceleration. So a negative acceleration is the same as a deceleration. Right, something you need to know is that whenever you draw a velocity time graph, the area under the line actually equals the distance travelled. But that is only true for velocity versus time graphs, not for distance versus time graphs. For velocity versus time graphs, it's the area under the line equals the distance travelled. So here, for example, we've got velocity of 30 meters per second, and it's happened for 50 seconds, which means that if for every second it was travelling 30 meters, and you had 50 of those seconds, that's 30 times 50, which gives you 1,500 meters. So this is a fairly common question in exams. Working out the distance travelled is by using a velocity time graph. They sometimes may be a bit more complicated, so looking at the A grade, A star grade, they may perhaps give you a shape like this with a triangle in it and a rectangle. Just remember that the triangle is basically an area of a triangle's half base times height, and I've given you an example here you can work your way through to see as to how far something's gone. And that is velocity time graphs.